Many people become PMP certified and then they wonder why they're still not getting hired. The PMP certification has become so widespread that many companies see it as mandatory. It no longer separates you from everyone else. You're told that getting a PMP will unlock a higher salary. So you go through this grind to study every day for weeks and months until you finally earn your PMP certification. But then when you start applying for interviews, you hear silence and you don't get the interview. And even worse, you're ghosted. In fact, if you have yet to land your next project management job, it likely has nothing to do with you. And I know the feeling. I followed the same exact steps as you. I felt like I did everything right and I still couldn't land a job offer. It wasn't until I stopped focusing on the certification and I started to think differently when things clicked for me. My name's Alvin. I'm an engineering project manager who's PMP, Scrum Master, and PMI ACP certified. I'm here to help you land your next job in project management. So if you're stuck and you feel more confused about what to do to land your next job, take a deep breath and relax. We're going to solve this together and make things as simple as possible because you can do this. But first, we have to clear away the smoke. Let's break down why just having a PMP won't cut it in today's job market. Once you understand where it falls short, you're going to connect the dots. The problem isn't because of you, my friend. The problem is that the PMP certification was not designed to land you a job in the first place. Let me explain. First, the PMP certification is a credential that's based on passing an exam. It tests your knowledge on theory and how you would apply it in scenarios. But having a PMP is not a substitute for having years of real experience with real results. Hiring managers care much more about what you've physically accomplished with leading and delivering real-world projects and what those results were. Yes, you can go through training and learn frameworks and concepts from the PMBOK guide, and then you get the certification. But it's not the golden ticket. The PMP proves that you can pass an exam. Not that you have years of experience with handling technical and complex challenging situations to launch a new product, manage aggressive deadlines, or communicate and influence persuasively to leadership and still get buy-in when you're under pressure. Second, the PMP certification signals that you're at least mid-level when it comes to real project management experience. If you're someone who's an early career professional, having the PMP may look misaligned on your resume. It implies that you have more experience than you actually do, which could hurt your chances of actually landing the interview. And if you get the interview, you may not be able to answer the technical or the scenario-based questions in the level of depth that the hiring manager is expecting from you. In actual mid to senior project manager roles, you're expected to drive results and make things happen. You have to influence, persuade, and negotiate with people who you may not get along with. You have to learn how to get people to do their work, even though the people on the project don't report up to you. And you learn these skills not from a PMP course, but from actual real-world experiences. And third, the PMP trains you to answer standardized questions. You learn to solve situational questions like, what should a project manager do next? But in real life, there are so many other variables to consider when you're actually leading projects, managing resources, leading a team, or trying to accelerate a timeline. So just because you can answer a PMP question does not necessarily translate one-to-one in real-life scenarios, especially if you work in a smaller company or even much larger global companies where the stakes are so much higher and now you're working with different cultures across countries, dozens of vendors, and everything comes down to negotiating a contract so you have parts delivered on time. Let's be real with each other here. For every project management job that you apply to, there are hundreds of other people who are also PMP certified. And you know what happens when the hiring manager sees the PMP listed by almost everyone? Just having the PMP won't make you stand out. So let's talk about what really works, because many people are still breaking into careers in project management. You can do it too. Step 1 is to build a proven project portfolio. Here's the real truth. Most people apply to jobs with the wrong mindset. The PMP shows that you can pass an exam and that you have theoretical knowledge, but what about the practical application in the real world? Hiring managers care about results you delivered and how that ties to business value. Most people get the PMP certification and then they start applying to dozens of jobs. They don't get interviews and they wonder why they're not standing out. Let me save you months of frustration based on my experience and the struggles and pain that I went through. If a hiring manager sees that you have a PMP certification on your resume, but doesn't see that you have experience to back your skills up, it can be a red flag. You need to build a proven project portfolio that explains how you've delivered on project outcomes and what your accomplishments were. Who cares if you led 5 projects if you don't even know what the business problem you're helping solve is? It's about connecting what you've accomplished to the actual business problem. And here's why. Hiring managers want to hire PMPs who have real experience with communicating, persuading, influencing, and leading teams through complex challenges. And you don't necessarily get that just from becoming PMP certified. So you need to build out your project portfolio and write down the specific outcomes you delivered and how that helped solve the business problem. Because once you have that, then you can draft a project manager resume that stands out to the hiring manager and gets interviews. To help you do this, I'm giving you my exact project manager resume template that I use to land interviews and get offers for multiple project manager jobs. You can download it for free at alvinthepm.com/resume template. It's completely free because I want you to stand out from your competition so you can land your next job and earn the income that you deserve. So go ahead, download my free project manager resume template at alvinthepm.com/resume template. The next thing you need to do is network to get noticed. Take any opportunity you have to talk to other managers, senior managers, and directors in your company. Connect with your peers and prioritize doing this. It could be once a month or even once a quarter. Do what works best for you with your schedule and your workload. Most people with a PMP attend PMI chapters and local events. Hey, that's great. But did you know that you can also network in other areas? So you could attend local business events or industry-specific groups like those related to IT, construction, or healthcare, just to name a few, depending on where your focus is. And I have a secret that you might not be using. Many people underuse LinkedIn. My friend, you're sitting on a gold mine. LinkedIn is your 24/7 networking tool that you're not taking advantage of. Did you know that you can comment on posts from people in companies you're interested in? Did you know that you can send a polite, personalized message to other people in your industry as a way to network? You could say something like this. Hi John, I'm Alvin, and I came across your profile and I was really impressed by your path into the role of a senior project manager. I'd love to connect and ask a few questions about your journey if you're open to it. If you don't get a response, you can follow up after 7 to 10 days and you could say something like this. Hey John, just following up in case you missed this, I'd really love to hear your experience. Appreciate your time. Either way, you never know until you try. Are you starting to see how you can network without agonizing hours every week over this? Most people are nice and are more than happy to say yes to a friendly chat. So now you're building out your portfolio. You've crafted a resume that shows the business value you delivered and you're networking. Well, now it's time to level up your skills so you stand out. Your PMP should be your starting point. To stand out, you want to learn skills that go beyond this. In PMI's talent triangle, there are 3 areas we should develop: ways of working, power skills, and business acumen. Ways of working is basically the technical side of project management. So learning best practices with agile, predictive, or hybrid. Power skills involve anything that has to do with our soft skills like leadership, communication, emotional intelligence, and empathy. Business acumen, well, it's just like it sounds. It has to do with the business side of things. I want to encourage you to look inward and do an internal audit. What are your biggest weaknesses in these areas? Do you need to level up and be a better communicator? so you can present in front of your peers and in front of leadership? Do you need to better understand how to be an effective leader? Or do you need to develop your emotional intelligence? Here's what I'm doing to level up as a professional leader so I can land my next job. One of my weaknesses is building up my authority and communication when I work with other people. So I'm reading a few books. I got here John Maxwell's 21 Laws of Irrefutable Leadership to be a better leader. Second, I'm reading this other book called The Coaching Habit, Say Less, Ask More, and Change the Way You Lead Forever by Michael Stanier. I also need to learn the business side of things so that I can be better business acumen or business related. So I'm reading The Personal MBA by Josh Kaufman. If you're interested in any of these resources that I'm talking about, you can check them out using my links down below in the description bar. They are my affiliate links and they help support me at no additional cost to you so I can keep creating high quality content. You can invest into yourself with books like I'm doing, or you can become more specialized by taking certifications from a university or online platform like EDX or Coursera. So pick one area that you're weak in. Go hard on reading books like I'm doing here, or taking a certification and a course to level up. It could be tied to a soft skill, like communication, a technical skill, or even your business acumen. Invest in yourself and set aside your own training fund to become a version 2.0. And your version 2.0, that's what will stand out when you apply to your next job. If you've been relying on a PMP certification to carry your job search, now you know why it's not working. But more importantly, now you know what works. Follow these steps. Build out your project career portfolio and connect your project outcomes with the business value you delivered. Network to get noticed and level up your skills. If you've enjoyed these strategies, then don't forget and be sure to download my free project manager resume template at alvinthepm.com/resume template. Use this to stand out from hundreds of applicants so you can land your next job this year in project management. To find out the best certifications to take to level up your career, please watch this video next, and I'll see you in the next video.